us, everything to do with floods, floodplains, and hopefully to give us a better sense of what we need to find out when it comes to coming up with an innovation for our problem, okay? So I want you to pay close attention to her, let her tell us some things, and then when she's finished, and ask some questions, of course. Okay, you guys ready to get started? How many are we missing? Any? Who?
We're missing Brennan.
Well, Brennan, we know Brennan. He's already told us he would be here.
We're missing one.
Well, yeah, George is here.
George, yeah, he had to go. So
we have.
What
But
about
that's-
Adrian?
that's a good question.
What about
I don't know where he is.
Yeah, he's probably in Africa.
Sorry, we're gonna get started. She's on time. No. You guys ready to go?
Sir.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Clark. You guys have to be quiet now. Shh.
Well, like I said, I work for the National Weather Service, and we deal predominantly with weather, obviously. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but out of all the different types of weather that's out there, flooding is actually the #1 cause of fatalities and property damage. And flooding can, of course, come from things like hurricanes and a lot of tropical systems, but also just flash flooding is another one that kind of catches people off guard sometimes. And so flooding is a huge problem in our country, and just something that we're constantly working to try to improve our warning lead time and trying to give people a better understanding for what causes floods and how to be safe. We have nearly 100 people that die because of flooding every year, and nearly half of those are people that voluntarily drive into a flooding situation or put themselves at risk when they didn't have to do that. And so again, it's us trying to do things to try to do like you guys are trying to come up with ideas to help people, and again, help us understand things like what causes flooding, but also how we can keep people safe when it happens, because obviously we can't control it a lot of times. So some of the different things to do preactive ahead of an event, there's some things that can be done. There's other agencies that work with people. FEMA is one. They've got checklists and things that if you live in a flood-prone area, it'd be a good idea to look up their checklists and their information, because they've got things like how to have an evacuation plan for your family, how to have what kind of stuff to look out for in your area, like different roads. There's maps that can tell you what areas are low lying and what might typically flood, so you're more aware of your surroundings, and also just things to have prepared for your home if you had to grab it and leave in the case that you had to leave your home. There's people called floodplain managers that are out in every county. A lot of times those are the emergency managers for the county, but they help educate people too when they're about to build a building or a house, what to look out for in your area and what might flood. The other thing is to understand the terminology. Has anyone watched TV and seen the meteorologist say we have a flash flood watch out for Pulaski County? Do you guys understand the difference between a watch and a warning?
Yes, ma'am.
You do?
Yes.
Very good. What is it?
I think.
You think? It's okay. You can.
Warning is when it's actually happening, and a watch is that it could happen.
Right, and a watch, very good. And a watch too, we might typically issue a watch, 12 to 24 hours out. Say if we see a tropical system coming up out of the Gulf, we may issue it 24 hours in advance, because we're fully expecting to get a widespread 3 to 4 inches, or possibly even more. And so a watch is something just to kind of give you a heads up. Maybe have a plan in place. Maybe don't go camping that weekend. Just things to be aware. Now, warning is something that's happening right now. So though there's a very distinct difference, and understanding those is a good thing. We also have things like flood alert networks. Has anyone been to Hot Springs? Okay, well, Hot Springs actually has a very dense stream gauge network where they have different rain gauges and different gauges around the city that alert the people in the city when they have water over the road. And so in that way, they can get out and start telling people, or closing off barricading roads and things like that to keep people safe. So there's different networks out there too where people can take initiative ahead of time. During an event itself, of course, you want to be cautious of flooded roads. Has anyone ever been driving and seen kind of the water going over the road? A lot of people don't know this, but it could only take 6 inches of water on the road to kind of make you lose control when you're driving, and 18 to 24 inches of road can sweep vehicles right off the road. And we see a lot of that kind of stuff happen. And so, again, we're trying to make an effort to educate people on it doesn't take a lot of water to make your car buoyant. And you'll learn about that in physics and that kind of thing, why that happens. And again, these are things that you can prevent yourself from putting yourself in that situation. There's also things like things people have now with their phones. They alert them when we've had, when the river levels are a certain stage. If you live near a river and you care about a certain height with the river, you can have things send, alerts to your phone, or you can have flash flood warnings come up on your phone. So there's different ways to get that information out there that people have thought of to help protect people. After an event, there's other things that can happen. That's kind of where the process starts over. You start to look at the event as itself and say, what could we have done better? What can we do to prevent this from happening next time? Where do we have problems? How is the forecasting of the event? And just helping people get their life back together. The interesting thing about flooding, as opposed to, we have a tornado event, it happens and then it's over. Flooding can go on for weeks, months. I don't know if anybody knew anybody in this spring a couple of years ago along the White River and the lower part of the Arkansas River, even the Mississippi River. They dealt with flooding for several weeks and people couldn't get to their homes. And so flooding is not one thing that happens and then it's over. If you have river flooding, it can go on for, like I said, several weeks. And so we'll kind of go through some examples with the floodplain model and show you guys, maybe it'll make it more visual for you and give you some ideas of different types of flooding. This is a river here, obviously, the blue part. And I've set up a couple of houses just to kind of give maybe some real life examples of where people might build their homes. Right here we have a parking lot and some Hot Wheels cars. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some water in here, and this is going to try to simulate rainfall. And we'll make it heavy rain too, to kind of give you an idea of what it would do. But just to kind of guess, anyway, what do you think is going to happen when the rain hits this? This will simulate like a parking lot.
It'll kind of build up.
Yeah.
It'll build up and flow into the river.
Will it sink into the parking lot at all, or will it just rush all off?
It'll sink. Well, kind of both.
What do you think?
If, depending on how much water it is, it would either just stay in there and kind of mess around a bit, or it would just overflow, get in there, and really just damage a lot of things and then fall off.
Well, let's check it out so we know for sure. How about that? All right, so here's our thunderstorm. And we're gonna, okay, so what is the water doing? It's ponding, like someone mentioned, right? Kind of on the, all right.
That's hot water.
Are y'all watching the house?
That's a lot. Oh gosh.
Wow. Again, flooding.
Who's flooding?
The houses.
Yeah, which one's flooded first here?
The ones over the bottom.
Lowest
Right here.
elevation.
Okay, very good, lowest elevation.
It
So,
flooded pretty quick.
yeah. So we might consider this sort of a floodplain. You can see it's lower than all the other ones, and this water, there really wasn't much slope difference between the riverbed and up here. And so these people that built their houses kind of where they could, have a nice place to walk out their front door and go fishing, maybe in a situation like this. And also, where did the rain happen? Did it happen over here or over here?
No, it traveled.
It traveled,
Pretty
didn't it?
fast. How far is that
So
thing?
these guys could have been totally blindsided. They were out fishing and didn't even know there was a storm happening. But where was the storm happening?
Over here, not up there. With
The-
the giant cars that are bigger than
And the
giant cars.
houses are kind of.
It's like
And so this is a good example of how you can have flooding and it not even be occurring where you are. So that's important to understand. So say that we want to try to mitigate the flooding and keep this from happening, because what are some solutions you can come up with to keep that from happening? I think I saw you first.
kind of like bank guards, like something to kind of keep the river
Yeah,
a certain elevation.
Well, you mean like kind of block the water from getting in here?
Yes.
Okay.
Like,
mean like a levee?
Like a levee, that's good.
I don't know what that is, but whatever.
Well, we're gonna learn about those.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was.
So I brought a levee with me.
Sweet.
Good.
Maybe something to get that water out. Okay, and has anyone ever been to Memphis or over, has anyone ever seen a levee in real life?
No, I don't know where it is.
Memphis is in Tennessee.
Well, I know what Memphis is. I don't know.
All right, so we're gonna move this sponge here for now. Okay, so this is our levee, and it's just gonna be pretty much a mound of dirt. So this community got together and they said, you know what, we're sick of this happening. They built this Walmart shopping center, and now we flood every time it rains at Walmart. So we're gonna build a levee. We're just gonna build a wall right around our city, and we're gonna get with our contractors and developers, and we're gonna make an entrance over on the other side because we're tired of this. So we're gonna build a levee. And that's what they did.
So it's just like a seawall?
Yeah, it's basically just
But for a river?
Let's hope it works.
Basically,
And make sure you pay attention to not just these houses, but what the other houses too, right?
There's some down there that got flooded.
Yeah.
A little.
Well,
Didn't
it was
really get
worse
to-
than
But they have like a ditch.
They got, like,
They live on the
half the
islands. Those people.
All right, so
So
we're
those
gonna,
people might actually get some flooding. That's a lot.
all right, so I see the water kind of headed towards the levee.
The levee held, but
The levee's holding.
yeah.
Almost.
Except some. Yeah.
Well,
Oh.
that's just a little.
Let's pretend that
yeah,
didn't happen.
let's pretend that levee was actually.
All right, now watch this house right here on the island, okay?
So it's gonna get more water because no water.
Because the water wasn't even.
That's
the
right.
pressure.
Very good. So what did you learn here? The water's got to go somewhere, doesn't it?
Well, now
So
these
it's
people
gonna-
are even in more
So what are these
trouble
people
than they
doing?
were
They're
before.
screaming, right? This hotel.
Yeah, they should go up all the way over there, though. The Monopoly
So,
Hotel.
moral of the story is you've fixed the problem in the
But you've made another
floodplain, but
one.
you've made an additional problem downstream. So these people are probably pretty upset now, right? So, so maybe we should think of a different solution because that did not work. Well, work for them, but it didn't work down here.
You could build the hotel on stilts.
Very good. That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, these guys from the very beginning, they could have done the same thing, right? They could have put their houses on stilts. Now, stilts is a really good idea because what it does is it allows the water to do what it's naturally supposed to do. It goes in the floodplain and then it kind of just goes back into the river like it was naturally meant to do. So that's a very good suggestion. And remember me talking about the floodplain managers that every county has in Arkansas? These guys will go around and assist people and giving them ideas like that. You know, maybe put your house on stilts. This is how high your house needs to be out of the floodplain. So I might have to lift the table to get the water out.
Yeah, that's a lot for me.
If you could just like make sure that goes into the Gulf of Mexico there, that'd be awesome.
Gulf of Mexico. Wait, it says Gulf of Mexico over there?
Is there a house stuck in there? Sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there's a house that went.
Okay.
There's a house in
So we're gonna try. What's your name?
Emily.
Emily. We're gonna try Emily's idea. We're gonna do what she suggested, and because it takes so long, we're gonna pretend there was just one house there, and we're gonna put it on stilts. Of course, it's gonna be hard to do. Maybe I'll do a hotel.
Yeah. You want to put those houses back over there?
Oh, nah.
Put that.
On stilts. And hopefully these guys have a boat, right?
Yeah, just in case.
Maybe they were, just in case. So they talked their the appropriate authority on the floodplain.
Wait, how about
managers
that yellow house?
The hotel?
It's fine.
They're in trouble.
They're actually enjoying the waterfront property right now, so they're good.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably should have a bridge, but all right.
Monopoly people in the Monopoly land like that.
But the cars are ruining the houses.
Yeah, I know.
It'd be hard to find.
That'd be really hard to drive. That's what the stilts are talking about. Oh yeah, that's how we win.
How's that?
That's
Oh, but this one's
Yeah.
They're still drowning.
It's
Still
just
seems to
not
be
high.
higher
It's
than
just
what
not
they
high.
were.
It's not high enough.
Not high enough. Okay.
It's
We'll pretend that these guys
made it.
made it higher.
Uh,
All right, so now we're gonna think of some other ideas. What's maybe instead of this Walmart parking lot, we need to put something. We need to make sure we have something
dam?
else. A dam is one answer. A good answer.
Oh, a sewage drain.
A what?
A sewage drain that goes from the parking lot.
Serious?
A sewage drain.
Oh, no. Let's try the dam example first, because I actually have one with me.
oh,
Uh-oh.
House.
oh my god!
Almost had it.
That always makes fun. It's still in there. No, it's yeah.
I don't think you want to unplug that.
It's clogging it up.
You know, we think we have a solution for this.
Okay.
That's just a faulty face with this system.
Hello, Miss Liz.
Hello.
I don't know where Miss Cromwell is.
They're tired picnics.
Hi. Good. How are you?
Well, we might have to get a.
Looking at floodplains.
Might have to get like a paper clip or something to get that out. All right. Oh, we were gonna do the reservoir, right?
Yep. Right then. At least it's still flowing.
That's pretty cool. So now
Is
we're
the
gonna
house
try-
out?
It's not. I have to do like a paper clip or something to get that out. We're gonna roll with it.
Cars are bigger than houses.
Okay, so we decided to build. The community got together and decided we're gonna build a dam, and let's see how that how things act a little bit differently. And we'll pretend like the dam is a few miles downstream, but because I don't have any room for it to move it, I'm just gonna put it right here.
Oh, that guy's handicapped.
It's
Got
true.
a nice car. All right. Does anyone have a paper clip handy?
No, I think Olivia.
I think I might have one in my binder.
Can you
I have a pencil, but none.
I think it might ruin the pencil.
I have a couple that like don't work. Like a couple of mechanical pencils that don't work.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can use
She
better
got it.
things.
All right, someone, can someone do quality control, damage control next time? You want it? You want the houses?
Yeah.
You're gonna be our damage control guy, okay?
There you go.
I think I should be that.
All right, so now we've built our dam, so let's see how, we're still gonna have the same kind of runoff in the parking lot, right? Because that hasn't changed. Okay, so we have the runoff, now where's the water going?
Big one, John.
From there.
To the dam.
So we flooding it?
No. Now you're making a lake.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now what is that lake gonna do?
Overflow eventually.
They'll only like put out the extra.
So the Corps of Engineers is involved now. And what are they doing? They're saying, let's hold the water, we got room.
Some of
And now they're gonna, that's right, now they're letting the water go?
Only the excess though, and
Shouldn't they have like turbines too?